No, not a mime act. This is where virtual actors go at the end of the day, back to their virtual homes. Smart Model is the ultimate tool in 3D landscape gardening. Users put on a virtual reality helmet to enter the design world and some VR gloves. They can then start to build their own street, complete with houses, trees, roads and fences. Your virtual town has all the amenities, including a local park, and everything can be moved or redesigned at the flick of your hand. If your garage is too small for your virtual Rolls-Royce, simple. Just pick it up and stretch it. So the Andy for best free muffin on their stand goes to Smart Model. Well, that's it for SIGGRAPH 95, and all that remains for me is to say thank you to everyone who's made this evening possible, especially Ricky, Dickie, Kenny, Emmy and Stevie Spielbergy. It's so wonderful that we've all come together.
Violet, Berlin and Los Angeles. I think there's quite a likeness in this Andy, don't you?
I don't know, I haven't seen Andy with no clothes on.
Well, neither have I.
Time now for this week's news and preview.
With a budget of $2 million and rising, Heart of Darkness for the PC CD-ROM is going to be big. You play Andy, a streetwise kid whose faithful dog Whiskey gets sucked away into a black hole during a solar eclipse. You immediately set out to find your dog in your trusty spacecraft. Unfortunately, your piloting isn't that good, and you end up crashing your ship, which means you now have to find Whiskey on foot. On the way, you have to dispatch evil creatures with your ray gun, scale tricky mountains, and avoid being eaten by plants. It should be out in April next year.
Believe it or not, this CD contains all the 44 million words of these 32 volumes. This is the PC CD-ROM version of the Encyclopedia Britannica. It features all the articles found in the printed version. The CD is half the price of the books, but it still isn't cheap at £755.
If your mouth's been watering with all the new super consoles, but you've only got a humble SNES, don't worry, dust off the cobwebs and start playing Doom. The SNES conversion features all the 7 weapons, from simple handgun to the latest high-tech plasma blaster. The stunning 3D graphics are produced by the FX2 chip contained in the cartridge. Due out late October.
And now for some more games reviews.
Heads up!
Demolition Man has finally come out on the SNES. The year is 2032. Simon Phoenix, the ultimate cutthroat criminal, has escaped from the San Angeles cryo prison. The only man that can match him is John Spartan, the last rough-and-tumble, shoot-first, ask-questions-later cop of the 21st century. So, will you be hunting this game out or leaving it in cold storage? Here's Paul.
Most film conversions are dodgy, but this one is an exception to the rule. This is level 2. It has a different style of gameplay with an overhead view. At the end of each level there is a map telling you where you've been and where you're going next. One of the things I like best is when you shoot the backgrounds, they blow up. This isn't a game you can just pick up and play, you need to practice, but as shoot-em-ups go, it's not bad.
I found this game really playable. At first I thought it would just be another game released after a film, but I was pleasantly surprised.
Overall, the game is a little dated, but compared to some of the other film licenses, it's a good solid shoot-em-up.
And the scores for Demolition Man. The boys liked it, they gave it a 4. The girls, not so good, a 3.
The PlayStation and Saturn versions of Street Fighter the movie have just been released. The game boasts digitised backgrounds and characters from the movie, including Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie. But is there enough new gameplay to make it worth buying? Here's Sally with the Saturn version.
It still has the appeal of the original Street Fighter, but there are better beat-em-ups in the shops. I'm playing DJ. Now, you can play straight from the instruction book. You've really got to practice the moves. I'm going to do a special move right now. It's called a jackknife. There he goes. There's no point in buying Street Fighter the movie if you already have the previous games.
It may have a flashy new look, but it's just the same old, tired formula.
It's just another beat-em-up. A few added movie sequences does not make new and exciting gameplay.
Scores then for Street Fighter the movie. Both the boys and the girls gave it a rather two-dimensional 2 out of 5. If you've been checking out our exciting worldwide website, then I'm sure you were thrilled to discover our office camera page, bringing you live pictures of our production team in action. Well, this is the actual camera we use, and it's connected to a computer down there.
Every 10 minutes, the computer automatically grabs a still image, which it then sends to the Bad Influence worldwide website. And then anyone around the world connected to the internet can look at it. Now, for most of the week, the system lives in the production office. That's our producer Patrick and the floor manager Val. Ah, this is Colin, one of our producers, thinking that his legs are so fantastic, he's got to share them with the rest of the world. Colin, long trousers, please. It's a must.
There are loads of live cameras out there if you've got internet access, and here's Virtual Violet with her opinion of just a few of them.
The hundreds of live cameras on the net mean that you can spy on exciting things all over the world, such as what's happening right now on the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, not very much at the moment. What someone you don't know in America is watching on telly. Fascinating. There's even a guy who walks around with a camera mounted on his head so you can see his point of view at any moment in time. Right now, he seems to be lying on his side. Maybe it's the weight of the camera. Yep, it may all sound exciting, but it's actually incredibly dull. The point of video cameras is that they take moving pictures, but the cameras on the net only take a still picture about once every 5 minutes, if you're lucky. So why don't we get real video on the net? It would be great if you could hook up your camcorder and broadcast live to the world. Your computer would turn into a TV with thousands of amateur channels. Unfortunately, there's no way to download the necessary 25 pictures per second. With most modems, the download rate is more like 25 seconds per picture. The technology just isn't fast enough yet. So take a long, hard look at this empty coffee pot. Very interesting. And now that you've seen it, you won't have to spend hours on the internet, accessing all the so-called live cameras, an alarming number of which do seem to be trained on some kind of drinks container.
Virtual Violet not impressed. This week's competition prize is a Game Boy with Donkey Kong Land, and the competition question is, which famous computer games character appeared in the very first Donkey Kong game? Was it A, Sonic, B, Pac-Man, or C, Mario? Phone in your answers on 0891 800 300. 0891 800 300. The call will cost you no more than 25p. The lines will stay up until midnight on Sunday, but do please get permission from whoever pays the phone bill before you dial, and we always check to make sure you have.
And remember, you can't win if you don't get permission. Now, last week's competition prize was a Mega Drive with this game Comic Zone. And the question was, which comic book character who lives in Gotham City first appeared in Detective Comics number 27? The answer was Batman. Now, we had 16,000 entries, but we can only have one winner, and that is James Norris from Lancashire. By the way, James, if you've got that copy of Detective Comics number 27, please send it to me, because do you know how much it's worth? £95,000. That's how much?
How much? Send it to me.
No, me. Because I asked my saying no, me. Anyway, 10 runners up get Bad Influence, Bad Crew t-shirts.
Oh, here.
And their names are running across the screen right now.
So well done to you. That's just about
well
it for this
done.
week. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the programme. Fancy another game of Heretic?
Oh, yes, indeedy.
So, this is Violet Berlin for Bad Influence saying thank you, good night, and take care. I love you.